Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. Brandon did a striptease today.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to show off my shirt.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Football season's upon us. We had a fun show today.
Soon.
Well, almost. It's the season next week.
Just watch. College baseball doesn't matter, okay? We good? We good? This is a college football podcast. College baseball doesn't matter.
Neither do parades.
No, it's college baseball. Who can you imagine being like, oh, college baseball, yay, my team won a championship? Couldn't be me.
No.
Wouldn't be me.
You're working.
I'm working.
You didn't go to your team's parade. You're back in the office.
I got my ass back here.
B9DX.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
No, I didn't even watch.
Nobody
And
did.
I usually watch things.
Casey, I watch things too. You watch things?
Yeah, like I watch sports.
I watch sports.
And I like watching sports too.
Casey gonna be here eventually?
Yeah.
That'll be
traffic.
fun. That'll be fun.
Then we can show you her shirt. Show her your shirt.
Jack. Arch Manning, huh?
We have a special way of recording a podcast.
Right before something happens?
Right before, yeah, because it's happened multiple times for multiple stories.
Yeah. It sure has. All right. I'll just handle it myself till she gets here.
Works for me.
And you. You can also handle it. And Jack can handle it as well.
High noon pull pack.
We haven't got to the show yet.
That's a good point.
Let's do that now. Hi, welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's College Football Podcast, brought to you by High Noon Hard Seltzer. Look at there. There's the pool pack. 2 lime, 2 guava, 2 kiwi, and 2 peach. They look delicious.
Do you know that the tall boys are sold out everywhere?
Really, everywhere.
Like we can't. I know this is about to be moronic, but we're told not to advertise them on social anymore because they're so sold out. So we did a good job.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Plus, it's 4th of July holiday coming up. So it's a big time. So get the pool pack. Don't worry about the tall boys. Get the pool pack. But if you can find the tall boys, get the tall boys.
That or the lemon. The lemon's growing on me.
People love a tall boy.
They do.
6'5".
4.
5.
4.5.
5. You telling me you think I'm 6'4"?
I don't know.
I'm 6'5".
Okay. If that's what you to tell yourself. To
Jack, how tall am I?
6'6" or 6'5".
6'5". Thank you very much. God, we got a lot to talk about because there's just been a delicious amount of news in college football. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a couple over-unders later in the show where we look forward. This is the last show before our July 4th break, so no show next week.
Correct.
But I've got an announcement, and I haven't told you, I haven't told you, I haven't told me. I haven't told her.
I think I might know. Sorry.
I don't, so I'm interested.
It's not a real announcement, but it's kind of an announcement. When we come back,
we're ready. We're in.
off season's over.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Oh,
Okay, let's do it.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, good.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to treat this. No more off season. Done with the off season. Other football podcasts don't do off season. I'm done doing off season. I'm ready to fucking get into it. This Band-Aid doesn't work.
What about the second one I got you?
Hopefully this one works.
That's what I got you too.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go because it'll be next time we come to you. It'll be like July 11th. July. Yeah, and we'll be dead into it. You know what used to be great about July, and hopefully next year we get that back, Jack? July used to be when the NCAA football game released.
I think next year they're planning on it.
They're planning on it, sure.
Have you seen that? What they've been doing? They've been reaching out to schools, getting exact dimensions.
I'm going to need them to reach out to me. I've got some. I've got some things. I've got some ideas of what to put in there. First of all, I think every digital purchase of NCAA 2023 should come with cheese fries from Eskimo Joe's in Oklahoma City. No, not Oklahoma City. Stillwater.
That would be a hell of a business.
I believe I should be able to give real life money to the players on. I would like to pay to get better recruits on the game.
Not just fake
Actually,
money.
how did they never think of that?
Because I think the NCAA would have been like, nah, y'all can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I guess so. But,
Because that would,
but what if NCAA 23 comes out and says we have an NIL program now, but you have to use actual money. You have to pay if you want a 5-star recruit. You have to pay us on EASports.com $24.
Yeah,
people would do it.
They should do that because if you think about it, right, all those big games that are really big now, that the kids play,
have downloadable content that you have to buy.
And you have to buy it. Yeah, it's like that famous tweet about from Kanye West. He's like, my daughter North bought like $800 worth of like app
things. Yeah. EA Sports. There you go. A free idea. And 24 is too much. How about $9 how about $10 a star? No, how about $2 a star? You want a good solid 3-star? $6.
And then you have, while you're in the program, the players are getting mad that, oh, Joe Schmo.
Oh, you paid $10 for this guy?
Yeah, and I'm getting what?
Yeah. Then you have to pay somebody to stay at your school. And also, and not a big deal, I should be able to offer players pussy to come to my school because that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Imagine who has to design the graphics for that.
The pussy graphics?
Yeah.
I think we can whip something up real quick. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. Today, there's plenty of news. I kind of want to wait on the big one.
Okay.
For the Texas A&M fan to arrive. She had a doctor's appointment today, so she's coming. So go through your news. Okay, there's a couple things that I want to talk about. And I'm just going to get on my soapbox real quick, and I'm going to rant. Okay, and Jaden Rashada, this 2023 4-star quarterback, by the way.
Not 5.
4-star quarterback. Fine. He's going to Miami. Okay, and he's getting a lot of money. That's a conversation we'll have in a minute. The conversation I want to have is where college football is now. They've opened up avenues for more teams to invest and get big-time recruits. The way it was before when it was all hush-hush, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia had that on lock. It was hard for anybody to get in there. Now, public money, Texas is sneaking in there and giving somebody $10 million. Miami's giving $9.5 million. Tennessee's giving $8 million. Like, everybody's getting back in the game at that level. Not everybody in the world's getting in the game, but everybody at that level or who thinks they could be at that level is getting in the game. Which brings me to the overall point. The group of teams that are desperately, outwardly trying to get to the elite level again is more interesting in college football in 2022 than the teams that are actually at the elite level.
Interesting.
Alabama has been on top of the sport for 15 years. They're boring. They're efficient. They're awesome. They're great. They're boring. They don't move the needle anymore. They're boring. Ohio State, they're going to be great. Great offense every year. Boring. Clemson fell off a little bit. Clemson been boring. Georgia has a chance to get boring. But these teams right under that level, Tennessee is frothing at the mouth to get good. They're giving out $8 million to get a quarterback. Texas is frothing at the mouth to get good. They just paid $10 million allegedly for a legacy quarterback. Miami shelling out all the money. USC desperate to get back on top.
Yep.
The USCs, the Tennessees, the Miamis, the Texas, the Nebraskas of the world who are killing themselves to get back to the elite level is a more interesting story in 2022 college football than the Alabamas, Georgias, and Ohio States that are already there.
I agree.
What do you think about that?
I agree with everything that you just said. Are these your Band-Aids on this?
They all stink.
These are not good Band-Aids.
They're not
okay.
good.
Are you okay?
I have a cut. I've been moving.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a cut. I've been moving.
Show her the...
Do you see my leg cut?
Oh, I saw it.
That's a man's cut.
That's manly
That's
as
what men
fuck.
do.
That's manly as fuck.
Oh, man.
Right there. Look at that.
Oh, that's really good on the camera.
Scratch.
The calves look good, though.
How much did that bleed? The
Pause.
calves do look great. I will say, whatever you just said, I agree. I felt it when I was in the cab in a rush in New York City, which is always the worst feeling ever.
Right.
I was like, whatever Brandon is saying right now, I agree with.
You just felt it.
I felt it. It was like
It was reverberating
It was
through
a
you.
spiritual feeling that I had.
What I was saying is, in college football in 2022, the more interesting subplots are more interesting than the actual plots. The teams that are desperate to get back to the top level or to get to the top level and who are moving heaven and earth to do it, and hell, I'll throw your team in there. I don't know that you can say Texas A&M is getting back to the elite level like a Miami or like a USC. But they're definitely moving heaven and earth to get to the top level, whereas Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson been there a while. that second level of teams, man, is where the intrigue is. It's where the drama is. It's where the stories are right now.
I completely agree and desperation is probably a little bit too dramatic.
I don't think so.
But I mean, that's what this is. It's desperation to get back to that level, and you see it with even just
Tennessee fans would suck 30 dicks apiece to win 10 games
what
this year.
was the Firefest guy that with like the water, the Firefest meme? Like that's the way I feel like most college teams are right now. Which again, I'm totally okay with. But like you're absolutely right. Of like the teams that are up there, they're going to keep doing their thing. It's now that it is legal with NIL deals. It's what are they going to do? What are they willing to give to get back to that level? I love it. I think it's great. Like I love all the arguments, like recruiting, Jack. I know you're obviously a big recruiting guy. Like I've all of a sudden been paying way more attention to recruiting.
Have I told you that I've decided to become a recruiting guy?
Oh no.
Oh well. No.
They all come.
But I kind of agree with you though, only because of this. Like, I'm not saying that I care about like the stars and all that near as much. Now, again, this year I do because A&M has a #1 class. However, we're talking
I got a big question.
Oh boy.
If stars don't matter, why aren't there like 2 stars getting like $8 million, $9 million deals?
Well, that opens up another thing that we're going to talk about in a minute. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
I do love the how much are these guys going to get paid because of the recruiting and all that. I'm totally in on it. But you're absolutely right. It's the teams that want to be back at the top that haven't been in so long are desperate, and their fans are desperate. Their boosters are desperate. The companies that love them are desperate, and they're just going to start throwing bags at these kids.
USC just paid a Pitt receiver $3 million.
I love it.
A receiver, a position they didn't even need. They did not need a receiver.
Yeah, you got the money. Why not spend it?
And then you got Miami going, $9.5 million for Jaden Rashada.
If I was a guy that just got done playing college football, like within the last 10 years or so, I'd be fucking furious right now.
I mean, he's making Zach Wilson money.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Now you're going to see guys stay in longer. I know we've talked about that in the past, but
listen, for every action, there's an equal and an opposite reaction, right? For every time the pendulum goes this way, it's going to come back this way. Now, what we're doing right now is handing out money to every quarterback with stars by his name.
Correct.
Well, quarterback is traditionally one of the least accurate projected positions there is. So everybody that's getting money ain't going to be good. Somebody's going to pay $10 million for a bust. Somebody, whether it's Jaden Rashada, whether it's Amaleva for Tennessee, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Somebody's going to go out there because every top 10 quarterback is going to get $10 million. 3 of those will be good college quarterbacks?
You're right. It's going to end up being like the guys in 4 or 5 years are going to be fucked because
somebody's going to be holding the bag. Yes. It's going to come down because somebody's going to fuck it up for somebody.
Well, we've already kind of started to see even with the transfer portal too. I mean, I don't know if it ever came out how much money Quinn Ewers is getting in NIL deals from Texas. I don't know if there's an official number out with that. But you think about the $1 million that Ohio State allegedly gave him, and that's just now gone to waste. So those things are going to start happening, and people are going to be like, wait a minute.
I think Ewers made money just based off of his name, like in Texas.
But it wasn't from Ohio State?
I think Ohio State.
No, I think it was from from outside.
So I think he truly made money off endorsements, not NIL.
So Ohio State didn't give him anything?
But
maybe. I think
he got a car. Oh, no, the car was in Texas.
So you just, is it hot in here?
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Well, we haven't done a podcast in here in a while.
I have this too.
Are you about to?
It's so fucking hot.
Oh, this was a buffet of bits.
So fucking hot.
That being said,
was
there's
this
some
planned
contracts.
waiting for me to get here?
No, I honestly thought it was hot.
I know this is.
No, you had no idea this was happening, Katie?
No,
Don't you lie to me.
He came in with.
You wouldn't have
Tommy.
opened it. I would have let him.
What in the fuck are you doing?
Casey, I've been meaning to tell you something, and this is not a big deal, and we're all friends here. We're not even recording this. This is an intervention because I have to tell you something.
Oh God.
And we've all discussed this.
Oh, so Katie did know this.
No.
We're all on board with this. You want me to whisper in your ear? Or you want me to say it?
Just say it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Say it.
Texas is back. Texas.
We were so early.
Texas is back. We were so early. We were so smart on this.
Yeah.
We saw it coming.
Yeah.
We didn't wait for that train to pass us by. No, we're in the first car.
No.
Texas is so back.
Are we basing this on the Arch Manning news?
No.
Not just Arch Manning news. Every recruit in the country is trying to go to play with Arch Manning right now.
Well, that is true.
That's the guy. Jonte Cook's the guy who said he looked at the swimming trophies. It's like there's a lot of swimming trophies here, no football trophies.
Yeah, he didn't want to go there.
He didn't want to go there, but then he saw Arch Manning went, and he goes, "Oh, Who cares about the swimming?
I don't blame them. I do not blame those kids. And I don't know. Oh yeah, we talked about it the day that it happened when the news came out. First of all, my favorite thing in the world is to put Texas fans in a blender where they don't know how to talk shit. I congratulated them on getting Arch Manning. That's a huge recruiting win. He could have gone anywhere in the country. They got him. Here's the thing. If Texas is back and they're going to the SEC, all ships rise, right?
They're so back.
All ships will rise. Now, I assume are we still
I don't
thinking?
know if your ship will rise.
Well, if the SEC is better.
It kind of has.
Yeah.
That's true.
If the SEC,
yeah, but their ship rose before theirs.
The only thing I want to go back to right around this time last year, we were talking about SEC news, Texas coming.
Like literally the week.
Yeah. And it was a month. Remember, I told you the
day.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize.
Okay.
No, well, you don't know the story.
Yeah.
Jack dropped the bomb on us in a group text about why he remembers the exact date. We'll talk about it later.
Anyways, there wasn't even a bomb. That's
well,
over.
It kind of was.
Anyways.
50-50.
Anyways, we talked about recruiting and how it was a hit to Texas A&M. Turns out it may not have been, because it may have been a hit to Texas A&M because, yeah, Texas is getting recruits, but Texas A&M just put together their best class in the history of their school.
I feel like, I mean, first of all, if we're even just talking, we've done the hypothetical on if schools could only recruit from their state. And obviously the state of Texas is, by the way, I notice you're also wearing Texas Tech shorts. You can't do that. If you're going to say Texas is back, you can't wear Texas Tech shorts.
Let me tell you something,
Got
Smith.
'em.
Let me tell you.
You can't do that. That would be like me wearing a Mississippi State shirt with
wear whatever
that'd be if you had
wear whatever I want.
Well, that is true. You can. Your body, your choice.
And these are the best shorts I've ever had.
Yeah, you love those shorts.
I love these shorts. I got these from the pile. From the Doug's thing.
The Texas Tech gear,
yeah,
unbelievable.
I don't know why Texas Tech had so much better gear than everybody else.
They have
Under Armour. I think Under Armour.
They have the best gear in the country.
There's like an oversized, and it is Under Armour, right?
Yeah.
That's like the dry fit.
I know what you're talking about.
It is so comfortable. I can sleep in it. I don't sleep in dry fit. I can sleep in it. It's unbelievable.
They've got the best. I don't know what Texas Tech did, but it's the best.
It's the best. I feel like whoever was going to get Arch Manning, you can't talk shit about it. That's the one thing I hated. Whether he would have gone to Georgia.
I feel like you can talk shit.
Well, no, because how can I talk shit? They got him. Like, what am I supposed to say? That was one thing that really irritated me.
You have to get on the.
I want to say what
you have to get on the train early. You got to get on the Arches of Bus train early.
Well, I mean, he might be. You know how many?
Ball.
You got.
Listen,
3A ball.
His competition, fucking terrible.
You got to watch.
Kids on his team.
You got to be paying attention
terrible.
to his Friday night games, and the second he throws out a 12 for 21 with a 1 touchdown and 2 picks, bust.
Here's. As everybody knows, it's because his last name is Manning. I'm not going to hate on that. I am not. I mean, the Manning family, royalty. But if his last name wasn't Manning,
you know what?
Yes, if his last name wasn't Manning, I'm not sure we would be cared this much.
He's the son of the bust of the family.
Oh shit, that is true, Jack.
He's not Peyton's son. He's not Eli's son. He's Cooper's son.
Damn, can you imagine being Cooper Manning?
I think.
I bet Cooper Manning lives a pretty good life.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, just the fact that he just said that, like, if you, I mean, it's like shit. Like, you're the.
I do. I will say though, what did you think about this? I said on Twitter, TikTok, the whole nine. I think he's the most anticipated college football player. Maybe you can refute it with somebody else, but I think potentially ever.
I don't hate that take. Again,
First Take was talking about a junior in high school. He's about to be a senior, but a junior in high school committing to Texas. They didn't do that with Trevor. Trevor.
Tebow was a big time recruit, but
what family dynasty is there in football?
I know.
You know, that's the thing. I know you don't like Archie. I know you don't like.
Well, no, Archie was not a good quarterback.
Well, I know, but you.
Worst Heisman ever.
Terrific seaman, by the way.
Well, I mean, clearly.
I mean, his seed.
The mother may be there.
Oh, she might be the best athlete of the whole group. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, think about then the generations to come after this, like Peyton and Eli's kids. I don't know what do they. I assume they have multiple kids. I don't know, but. It's just going to continue. So this would be the most anticipated because of the last name. I'm not taking anything away from Arch. I know he's very highly recruited. Clearly, Texas won it. I'm just saying he could go anywhere else with any other last name, and First Take would not be talking about him.
No, if his name was Arch Smith, we're not talking about him. But his name is Arch.
We're talking about Quinn Ewers. I feel like we would still be talking about him, but not just to the same extent.
Now, I will say this: there's a lot of I got a lot of DMs, I got a lot of tweets about this saying, "Well, where's Quinn Ewers transferring now?"
He ain't transferring
right.
nowhere. The timing lines up perfectly.
Right.
He can start this year in his second year, and then he can start next year. Arch comes in, red shirts, plays 4 games or less, and then it's Arch's show after that.
Also, like, I think he's it's weird saying this about a high schooler, but he could put on some more muscle, get a little bit bigger, and I think another year or so in specifically a college football D1 Texas our weight room, I think that would only benefit him.
So the strength and conditioning will be insane, but that's how, to further your point, people forgot how young he was when this happened. So everyone's like, oh, Quinn Ewers has to transfer now. It's like, no, we're talking about like a 16-year-old.
So the thing about Arch is, if you take what makes Peyton good, what makes Eli good, they think those things are present. His smarts, his footwork, his everything, his intangibles. He has those intangibles, but he's also the best athlete of the whole family. Like,
he can run.
Cooper played receiver.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't a quarterback. Cooper played receiver. Like, Cooper was an athlete. And Peyton, Eli, they're not beating me in a foot race. This guy's an actual athlete. So if you have their smarts, their intangibles, and an athletic, what?
Katie's face was so priceless.
They're not beating you in a foot race?
I don't know.
I mean, it would
they're
be
some of the slowest human beings out.
Eli Manning's the slowest human being I've ever seen try to move.
You should just look up some highlights of them running.
The only highlight I look up is the Mintz on the Nebraska 40-yard line.
Oh, she loves that.
Can we not name that motherfucker?
Yeah, why'd you say that guy's name?
It's to make fun
Let
of him.
the Make-A-Wish kid do his thing. All right.
Also, it's a sport no one cares about.
What, baseball?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about college baseball?
I don't.
Could you imagine going to Omaha because your
I
team's
can't.
there?
I really honestly cannot imagine caring about college baseball unless Schloss does it again next year, and then I will care. Just like
who's Schloss?
He's the manager.
I know that.
Oh,
Shut
sorry.
the fuck up.
Sorry. I fumbled the bag there.
It's okay. It's all right.
He wanted our job, but we wouldn't give it to him.
Yeah.
Then he came to Starkville, looked around.
Guys couldn't pay him enough.
Shit.
I mean,
we just won a national championship.
you did. That's a fact.
That's a big deal.
No, the
It's
stat that
nobody-
came out that A&M is now like the only SEC program that's not played for a national title since like the 40s. It's not great. But back to Arch Manning. So I do have a question for you, that you did this dramatic undressing for me. And if you are watching the YouTube, you should see it, because boy, did he do a dramatic undressing. What was the final straw that now made you wear a Bevo shirt with that heinous color?
Hey, I think I've worn the shirt before.
Well, you didn't strip tease with it last time.
Well, you just missed it, because I'm sure I did. I usually strip tease. I don't know, man. Here's the thing, and I know it's hard to talk about this and hard to get it right, because it's so nuanced and so because Alabama is like not in the top 10 of recruiting right now. They'll be there soon. Georgia's number 6. They'll be number 1, 2, or 3. Ohio State isn't.
Cincinnati.
Ohio State's on top 10 right now. But anyway, what I'm saying is this: this part is easy for Texas. This part's easy. They've been able to do this part. It's the next part they've struggled with. 2018, 2019, they ranked number 3 in the country in recruiting both years. When those classes were juniors and seniors, they lost to fucking Kansas. So you're now doing it again. You've got your marquee quarterback. You've got maybe the most anticipated quarterback of the last 20 years. You've got guys around him. Why is it different this time? Texas has to answer that question. Sarkisian's a better coach than I think they've had. And I think Sarkisian is you talk about getting on a train early. He's a good stock to buy now.
Buy low. Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have a great coaching record. He doesn't have a great history. If you look at his overall coaching record, it's not good. Like 45-39 or something. It's not good at all. But when he was at Alabama's offensive coordinator, same with Lane Kiffin before him, when he was Alabama's offensive coordinator, it hit different. And as soon as he left, you could tell it was a little different. This guy is a great coach, and he hasn't had his great moment yet. I think this build is real.
I think so too. I think that, he gets the reputation that he has with obviously the off the field stuff too. I feel like it kind of gets muddled up. However, I will say he's kind of put in a hard position, just like Venables is, because they could be fantastic coaches and really be able to get these guys and get them to translate at the college level. But they have a massive mountain they're going to have to climb next year, where it's like they can't just translate to the Big 12. They're now going to have to translate to the SEC as well.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go shopping in the SEC grocery store, They're coming in with some good groceries.
Definitely.
Like
I'm not saying that.
They're coming in. They're recruiting at an SEC level right now.
Yes,
at least Texas is. I don't know that Oklahoma is.
It's just like, can you? And I'm not even just talking about just these two teams. Just in general, like they're having such. I mean, again, Texas is just absolutely kicking ass this week in recruiting. Like they are the top of the Big 12. Hypothetically, let's say they win the Big 12. That's great, but they can't have those same expectations the next year if they're going to be jumping into another conference. And that's not just Texas or Oklahoma. That's any team that transfers into another conference. However, I do not hate the idea that they might be good, because then when the SEC teams that would be in their pod or their division have to play them every year.
I just hope this move stops you guys from being gigantic pussies.
I agree. I completely. I've been saying this, and I retweeted the video from last year of me saying, like, fucking who cares? Just play each other. I'm here for it. I will say, if Arch Manning is really good, like that, the Manning dynasty will never be beat, because that's 3 generations now.
Well, no, my kids are only 11, 9, and 6, so let's relax.
Solid.
Yeah,
that's solid. Yeah.
Generation so far.
Yeah. So
are they helping you move?
Tommy stay back. Tommy's here right now. Tommy's in this building somewhere.
Oh,
he was running around. Yeah. Well, you can't see him because you're wearing a John Cena shirt today.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
He's somewhere. He's somewhere, and then I've been moving. My house is pretty much empty right now, and then hopefully I'll drive out tomorrow and go to Mississippi for a month, and I'll figure out. I guess I'll have to Zoom.
Oh, Frank's probably freaking out.
Frank, what happened? Mets do something.
The Mets just allowed a 2-run homer, top 9,
Good.
2 outs.
To fall behind or to give up?
To fall behind, yeah. It was 0-0, but yeah, he's definitely freaking out. Jason Castro is a bomb.
A bomb. What's his name for him? Astro?
Oh.
I hope so.
Jason Castro?
Yeah. What's his name?
He doesn't. This guy's so irrelevant. He doesn't have a name for him. This is his first homer of the year.
I bet he's got one out there now.
Jason Castro hit it against you guys.
Yeah. Drew Smith. I don't think he has a name for Drew Smith, who allowed it.
Okay.
I guarantee you he does now.
What's your prediction? Is it unfair to give a prediction for Arch Manning right now?
No. Nothing's unfair in that.
What lives up to expectations for him?
Heisman Trophy.
No, that's too high.
I think when you're talking about the Mannings, like I really, because you.
Yeah, but none of them ever won it.
Well, no, but it's like they've been out of college for long enough, and both Peyton and Eli won Super Bowls. So now it's like, well, the next generation. And again, people don't know that Archie stunk like you.
Archie finished third in the Heisman. I don't know how they voted back then, but he finished third in the Heisman. Peyton finished second, should have won it. Eli finished third, definitely shouldn't have won it. 2003. Jason White won it. Fitzgerald should have won it that year. But I mean,
kids in college don't think of Peyton and Eli as college quarterbacks. Kids in college are seeing them as NFL.
He's got to get them to the playoff.
Yes.
I think his success is based upon
team success.
The team success.
Yeah.
I think they have to not win a national championship. I think he has to get to one.
They just got to get in the conversation. If he gets them in the conversation, I mean, Peyton never won a national title at Tennessee, but he got him in the conversation, and the second he left, they won one. And that I don't think that reflects poorly on him. He put him on the green. Somebody else made the putt. He at least has to put him on the green.
I agree with that.
The only thing is, it's like if Quinn's so good, you would almost, as Arch, I think you're almost wishing Quinn doesn't end up being that good.
So that you can kind of take over. And
I don't know. I think if Quinn gets you on the green,
that is true. Then you probably have much better players.
Yeah. Then you might have a 3-foot putt instead of a 30-foot putt. Yeah. So like it's just.
And that probably means Sark is coaching very well, putting together a very good offense. We'll see. I mean, I'm really excited.
It is crazy that we now have turned the page to Arch when they've got a guy who is one of the highest rated quarterback recruits of all time.
I think he is number 1.
Ready to take the reins this year.
Yeah.
They should be excited about him. But now we're skipping it's crazy. It's crazy out there.
Crazy.
What was I?
Wild.
Do you know what I was looking up?
No.
Oh, I was looking up football recruiting.
Oh, to see how Oklahoma was doing?
No. Don't say silly things.
Well, you did say. Well.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
I was looking up the quarterback rankings, so I do want to go through the top 10. So Arch is obviously number 1.
I think. Well, goes back to Rashada.
Yeah.
I think. Well, of the top 100 recruits in this class, the first 3 are all quarterbacks. That's never happened.
Is Arch, Malachi Nelson, and
I'm 11. They're 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is like a safety.
Yeah, Dante Moore is your fourth ranked quarterback.
I was talking to a recruiting guy who saw them all compete this past week. He said Dante Moore it looks the most ready.
He's been, Dante Moore's been a guy. I think he was he was Notre Dame, he was Michigan.
And now he's Oregon.
And Oregon just walked in and said, check out this Nike money, bitches.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what it is now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hiding it. So, I don't know, man.
So you're a recruiting guy now.
I'm just a recruiting guy now.
Damn.
When I come back,
Well, Rashad is the 5th quarterback in his class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's getting paid $9.5 million. I would like to see what his contract says, like what is required. Are in these contracts, are there requirements for...
But I want you to look at this now.
Okay.
And this continues a narrative that's been going on, and it doesn't really apply here because Lincoln might get number 2 there. Actually,
he committed.
We're looking up different things. Because what are you looking up? Because he's committed already to USC.
Yeah.
Malachi Nelson.
Maybe it's just not updated.
Wait,
that's
y'all
weird.
on
I'm
the
looking at the
same
exact same
right.
page.
I'll just refresh. There must be something wrong with there.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
It must
Sorry.
have, yeah.
So Lincoln's getting Malachi Nelson there, Los Angeles, California, 5-star quarterback. He's committed to USC.
Actually, with all these, since they're a year out, how set in stone do you think all of these commitments are?
I think quarterbacks are a lot more solid in
hardest
their
to flip.
commitments. They're the hardest to flip because that's the most investment teams make. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle. Once they get that, they build the rest of their puzzle. So,
And they already know who's on the roster.
and quarterbacks traditionally are the earliest committers.
Who's the last big quarterback flip? I can't think of one.
Sam
Howell
Howell
from
Florida State.
yeah. Surely
So
there's
that's a
been
few
one.
years ago.
Been one recently.
I can't think of a recruiting flip that was like massive news like that for a quarterback.
Just go to 2022 and let's see if we can remember a flip. I want to see who the biggest.
You know who it was? I think it's Vandergriff. I think Vandergriff was supposed to go to Oklahoma, and he went to
that's right.
Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, all these guys just kind of committed to where they went or signed where they went.
Oh, look at Weggy there.
Oh, we calling him Weggy now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think some A&M fans are saying Wegman's tape looks much better than Arch's.
Yeah. Which I am not getting behind.
Did y'all see
Any type of
big game boomers
Sensitive.
I'm back in on him now.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta stay up with Brain. But you never know. That's
I'll
why
flip a
I
lot. I'll
never
flip a
know.
lot. I'm back in on big game boomer.
The most sensitive and least sensitive fan bases.
Yeah, can you just pull up his?
See-
He did his most sensitive and least sensitive fan bases.
Can I say something?
And the Arkansas was number 1. It made a whole video about how they weren't number 1.
I think A&M's too low.
I would like to see the list because there are several
A&M's top
teams.
10. They should have been higher.
There are several teams that are too low.
We should have been higher.
It's a troll account.
No, I know, but I'm saying
It
we
is a
should.
troll
No, I'm
account.
saying we
But
should have
then
been
he
higher. We're
releases
more
these, like, top
we're
50
more
quarterbacks
sensitive.
and
But
than
there's
that.
also some accuracy. Like he's got the top 20 most and least sensitive college fan bases. All right, so number 1, he's got
do this.
Arkansas. I think that's absolutely correct. Although you say sensitive, I say just stupid.
Damn.
Number 2, you
That
got
sounds like a Toby Keith song.
Yeah, that's true.
number 2, you got Texas. I can see that.
Yeah.
Boy, he's got his finger on the pulse because Florida is, to me, rising up. I've said a couple.
We do want to talk about Florida.
I'm
You
gonna
got
get there.
yeah.
I disagree about Notre Dame.
I have a Florida take in a minute.
Auburn.
I think Florida is absolutely as sensitive as it gets right now. They know they're not happy with their hire, but when I say they shouldn't be happy with their hire, they freak out. Kentucky at 4.
I wouldn't put Kentucky at 4.
That seems a little high.
OU definitely.
OU
sensitive.
should be ahead of Texas, I think. OU's the most sensitive. OU lost a coach and is still whining.
I
about
would put OU at 2. Again, we're going off of just recency
it. I'm
bias.
gonna put OU 1.
I think I would put OU 1. Just because of the Lincoln Riley stuff. Now,
And-
Arkansas is pretty high up there too, but just from a sensitive.
Although Tennessee is so fucking sensitive, they got a man fired because they didn't pick him.
I feel that's true. I feel like I would move OU up. I would drop Kentucky. I'd move A&M up, and I'd move Michigan up. And it's
I
not.
haven't seen it with Oregon fans. He's got
Yeah, I
Oregon
don't
number
know.
8.
And Georgia too. I mean, Georgia just won a national title, so they're not.
No, Georgia's sensitive as hell.
But they're not right now.
Casey, Jack, be my
Oh, no,
witness.
Jack, what'd you do?
no.
A couple weeks ago, he put
Brandon,
out my take
yeah.
of Georgia might lose 2 games.
Yeah.
These people
that's
flipped
true.
out.
They
did see
were
that,
really,
yeah.
really mad that Brandon even asserted that, they could They could go 10-2,
right?
And that's not even saying that bad of a season.
I mean, 10-2 is a great fucking season.
Yeah.
I said 10, and they were like, "You clearly don't watch football. You don't know the roster. This team's loaded."
They're like offensive lines, best. They do return a lot on the offensive line, but I mean, it's Stetson. I don't know.
It's Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, it's just. I mean,
it's crazy. He won a national championship, and we're just like, it's still Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, which is crazy.
By the way, we could definitely get Stetson Bennett on this podcast. We need to.
No. I texted him once. He ignored me.
He ignored you?
Yeah.
How are you texting Stetson Bennett?
Somebody. Do you remember I sent in the group chat some guy who like works for Barstool?
He doesn't read the.
No, he did. I think he did. I think it was a while ago. It was like 2 months ago. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, no, I know.
So do you, but you have a better memory.
And I also can just read text messages.
I think women have a much better social memory.
I agree with
men have a much better random stats memory.
Well, and there's also I think men probably look at when there's a group text and there's like 20 texts, they just look at the last couple ones. Girls will scroll all the way back and dissect.
Nah, y'all know what's going on.
Roundabout way of saying men are smarter than women.
No, that's just not true.
Least sensitive, he's got Wisconsin one.
I love Dan's response to it. He was like, it's called self-awareness. Oh, God. I don't know. Is this a Roman ad?
I've been moving a lot of boxes.
Oh, God damn
it. I heard it, yeah.
And sometimes when you're moving a lot of boxes, you get tired. You can't make it. You can't finish the move. Well, fellas, don't let that box win. Do not let that box win.
No, that's your box.
That's your box. Fight back on it. You show that box who's boss. You know how you're going to do that? Longer lasting sex, boys. And you do that with Roman. It's clinically proven, these Roman swipes, to last longer, help you last longer in bed so you can turn around and be and you can whip that box. That's what you can do. You can beat that box.
No backdoor?
Studies show, on average, after 1 month of using swipes, men last 3 minutes, and after the second month, 5.5 minutes. That's a 340% increase. There's not a box in the world that wouldn't be happy.
I'm sweating. I'm honestly sweating.
Increase.
Thank you.
I'm sweating.
Go to GetRoman.com/Walker to get your first month of swipes for just $5.
When you're going to be sweating, prepare that extra 2 minutes and 40 seconds after 3 months of Roman swipes that you can get right now.
Penis doing the work. That's GetRoman.com/Walker or click the link in the YouTube description. Again, GetRoman.com/Walker to get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. Number 2 is Oklahoma State.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I had a knockdown drag out with an Oklahoma State fan last year, which I've had a knockdown drag out with a lot of people.
Oh, it was, I know who.
But that was the biggest bitch I've ever seen in my life.
The, Oklahoma State problems guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And
I jumped in on that too.
If that guy's in your fan base, I don't see how you could be the number 2.
That guy's unreal.
I completely forgot about that.
That guy's the biggest bitch I've ever encountered.
I completely forgot about that.
Jr. or something on Twitter.
We got into it bad with that guy.
Yeah. You guys were mad about him.
Legit.
Oh, now if he's a troll, he worked us. He like a remote control, but he's still a big bitch. Illinois, I don't know if they're sensitive. Purdue, basically the Big Ten West.
I agree with Katie though. Notre Dame being on the least sensitive list is not it.
I think the bottom they just started he wanted to get us.
He started filling teams in.
Yeah, like Alabama and Auburn because we know Alabama and Auburn and Nebraska, they have sensitive fans.
Oh my God, he's got Auburn as the least sensitive.
Yes,
Auburn should be top 3 most
That's
sensitive.
What she said, yeah.
But
but he put that in there to get.
Exactly. This is what we do more. I'm making sure this happens from Barstool U now, so we don't interact with him. We're doing more interaction.
Yeah, but I'm back in on him right now.
But it's because Katie's right. He knows exactly what's happening.
But look at his first response. Arkansas is the most sensitive fan base in all of sports. They think they should be ranked number 1 in everything.
Yeah.
They
think they're going to win the SEC this year.
I will say
you get just enough right to get people actually arguing, and then you get a few key ones wrong. That's how you do all this stuff.
Arkansas, I think, has the chance to be the most disappointing team in the country this year.
We're going to be doing over-unders. Did you bring them?
Oh, yeah.
I have 1 over, 1 under team totals just to whet the appetite.
Yeah. Arkansas?
I don't know if any – I don't know who made their schedule.
Their schedule, we've talked about it multiple times in this offseason. Insane.
Not only
in the middle of the SEC. Go ahead.
Not only first of all, they open with Cincinnati, which danger.
Yeah.
They also have Liberty on the schedule, which,
and BYU.
And the BYU is like they go at Mississippi State. 2 weeks later, they go at Auburn. In the middle, they go to Provo, Utah.
That's tough.
That's really tough. And BYU went 11-1 last year. Like this team, they could be just as good as they were last year. I don't think they will be. And I know a lot of fans think there's a reason on the Barstool Sportsbook app right now.
Oh, they have 3 road games in a row.
Their total is 7. And this is a team that brings a lot back from a team that won 9 games. There's a reason that total's 7.
I loved going through the totals.
I'm going to be honest. I think you can look at this Arkansas schedule. I don't mean this, Arkansas fans, but you could find a world where they go 3-9.
You could. No, I think they're better than that. But
I think they're better than that.
That's a schedule.
But it's not a
That is a schedule
world.
that is meant to. Whoever made that schedule
does not
kind of
like
fucked Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to beat Cincinnati to begin
They'll
with.
probably be 6-6, 7-5, but
I'd much rather be opening with Missouri State than Cincinnati.
Yes.
A&M, Bama, Mississippi State, BYU, Auburn, they may go 0-5 in that. Swear to God.
They might.
And then Liberty to start November.
Yeah, and they now they close November. They could come back. They could.
Yeah, they could come back.
They got LSU at home. They got Ole Miss at home. But they haven't been able to solve Auburn recently. They beat us by 3 last year on a bad call, and they got to come to Starkville. Come on,
They're not
Arkansas
beating A&M
fans.
again.
I got Arkansas under 7. That's my first total. We might as well just segue into that. Yeah, Arkansas under 7 was my first. We're gonna get to the news. We're gonna get to all that.
Are we just gonna go ahead to the
Why
team
not?
totals?
Let's just do some team totals right now.
So you're starting with your under.
My under was Arkansas minus under 7.
I was very confused when I saw this, and I know that people listen to it like, why is Notre Dame's total 9?
Notre Dame.
I think their schedule is just like a joke.
But I feel like people are just forgetting that they've been really good with Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly just left.
So you're
the
arguing
total is 9. I'm taking the under on that.
they've been really good now.
They're really good, and their schedule obviously leans toward them having success.
I don't think so. I actually disagree with that. I think their schedule's kind of tough. They open with Ohio State, which I think is a guaranteed loss.
Guaranteed loss.
And then they got Marshall, they got Cal, they got at North Carolina. I think that's let's say they're 3-1 there. BYU's tricky. They got them at home, but they closed the season with at USC.
When I was looking, so we're talking about
They
again.
got
I'm not
Clemson
saying
coming
that
in.
Right, I'm not saying they stink. I'm not. Please hear me, Irish fans.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they stink. I'm taking the under at 9 because I think they lose to Ohio State. I think they lose to USC to end the season. I think that they lose to Clemson, and then you look in there might be another loss. But even if I go with that, that's still pushing.
Yeah.
That's still 9 wins, and I think they lose another one in there. I don't understand why every time a coach that has a dynasty per se, granted he didn't win, they didn't win the whole thing, but Brian Kelly has a hell of a record at Notre Dame. Every time that happens at any other school and a coach leaves, they're like, well, Notre Dame's gonna have to be rebuilding, and I know they promoted from within and all that shit. That's a huge deal. Like, why are we acting like Notre Dame's gonna be in the playoff conversation automatically?
You know what the weirdest part about Notre Dame is? If you remember last year around October, they bring this freshman quarterback off the bench that's the future, this incredible Drew Pine, right? Oh, he's the future. He plays against Wisconsin. He's going to be the guy. You're going to see it in the future. We're coming in this offseason. He doesn't matter at all anymore. It's just another guy.
Right.
Yeah, it's what's his name. He played last year too.
Yeah,
I
and he was
never
fine.
liked him.
But it was Drew Pine was like.
I think Pine's a little bit better. I have 2 plays in the Pac-12.
Oh, both of yours in the Pac-12?
Yeah.
Oh.
An over and an under.
Let's do the unders, right? We're doing unders apparently right now. Yeah.
Under Colorado 3.5.
Did you get that DM too?
No, but I do.
A Colorado fan DM me and it's like we lost every single human being that ever mattered to Colorado football.
I was looking at them. I didn't get that DM.
That's a sad ass fan.
No. I think maybe I just saw that fan on Twitter.
Yeah.
Colorado's
they lost
down
a lot.
Bad.
And so their out of conference schedule is not easy either. They have to go to Minnesota, who's not going to be bad this year.
Yeah.
They got to open against TCU. Then they got to go to Air Force.
Yeah.
Air Force isn't going to be an easy one. And then
and also Air Force getting Colorado to visit is a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not an easy schedule.
No.
Jarek Broussard went to Michigan State. Mm-hmm. That was their, I think, offensive player of the year.
They had a mass exodus
2 years ago.
All right, Katie, did you bring an under?
Yeah, I found my under is much easier, but I think my favorite one so far is Houston under 9.5.
I think they're supposed to be good. Can we go look at their schedule?
I did the prep. Okay, so I'm halfway through prep. I did all ACC and whatnot.
Sure.
Houston, they have one receiver. One very good receiver, and no one else by a landslide.
Yeah, but Clayton Tune's a good quarterback.
Can you go to their schedule, please?
I don't.
Hey,
it's
this
just
is her under.
That's fine. We're just discussing it.
I want to see their schedule.
I'm working.
Yeah, she's looking up Houtzen right now. After you do Houtzen, can we do Houston?
It's too far away. I'm working on it. I also if I can do team total or team totals against.
Huh?
What?
NC State. It's like a system play, like Dan says. NC State when they play someone, I'll take their opponent's team total as the under. I think NC State's defense can be really good this year.
Oh, I see.
I see.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'll be like,
okay, so
all right, so Houston's opening with UTSA at UTSA, not a walk in the park. At Texas Tech, not a walk in the park. Kansas could be a walk in the park. Rice, definite walk in the park. What's my number? 9.5.
yeah.
so they can only lose 2.
I mean that AAC schedule is pretty friendly actually. So, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Anybody? I'm anxious to see if anybody has the same over here because
I know you will not have my same
I feel
over.
mine's easy. I went first last time. Why don't you go first this time?
I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but when you were out, we talked about Tennessee. And I think Tennessee at total 8, I think they're going to hit the over.
But here's the thing about the SEC East. Georgia is going to win it.
Correct.
Vandy's going to lose it.
Correct.
Somebody in the middle. It's like a washing machine. They're all spinning around, but somebody's winning 9 or 10 games.
And I think it's Tennessee. I really like Hooker. I think he's incredible.
I love Hooker.
I know you like hookers.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not Hugh.
Huh?
That's true.
Yeah.
The over is juiced to plus 100.
That's not juiced.
Let's pick them though. That's fine.
Tennessee?
The over.
But it was anything that's not minus 110.
Yeah, you're right.
Juice would be like minus 120.
What?
Whoops.
Go for Tennessee.
I think Georgia's going to win it, like you said, and we're trying to figure out who
Is
going
this your machine gun Kelly Nails?
Yeah.
Yeah, she won last night.
You see how close I was to him last night?
No.
I heard he had a little freak out about his guitar.
He did. Now, to be fair, he was in the middle of a song about him and Megan Fox having a miscarriage. And
Was she there?
Yes, she was. And boy, let me tell you something. I was right behind her. She is so hot. And I knew she was hot. But
Remember when Brandon didn't think she was hot?
yeah, well, he's
No.
Look how close I was,
You guys
Brandon.
love to misrepresent my words.
Yep.
Look at this.
No, I see. Yeah, that's fine.
She's aged out.
Okay. I'm just not going to have a Band-Aid.
You just shouldn't have mentioned the guy's name. She was fine.
You're right.
Yeah, no, that's true. I wasn't even going to say anything, but yes.
What's that shirt?
I don't know. It's
The
just
city that never sleeps.
It's like an
Empire State.
NYC. It's like weird.
I think Tyler O'Day gave it to her.
No, actually, I wore this today because now that you've opened up the floodgates, I wore this today because in the middle of the show last night, sold out at Madison Square Garden, by the way, fucking haters, he got to change the color of the Empire State Building in the middle of the show to pink. So he like did that and it turned to pink. Anyways,
I didn't give you a shout out. I was watching the January 6th hearings and I saw your name.
Brandon,
dude.
What? Oh, sorry.
We recorded a podcast on January 6th. I was here.
Sorry, relax. Sorry, I just.
I am relaxed.
You know, I accidentally threw in the My Body, My Choice thing earlier, and I didn't know if that was going to be.
I was actually,
I've been moving.
I was actually the Secret Service driver.
I've been moving, and I'm done with my U-Haul truck. If you need it for for your next.
My All-American Patriots or whatever. Yeah.
So where are we at? Who's your over?
Tennessee.
Your over.
Tennessee is my over. I think 8 is too low, and you're right. There's going to be somebody in the East that just wins 9 or 10 games, and I can't even come up with an argument of who it would be other than Tennessee.
I think
Florida's in complete fucking disarray.
I think Kentucky's an argument, and I think South Carolina could have an argument. And I think Florida could have an outside argument.
You best be ready. Tennessee's looking at being 5-0 going into Bama at home.
I know.
Big T's gonna be.
Yeah, he's gonna be lit.
Yeah,
that would be fun though. I think Bama is a much better team, but that would be fun.
It would be, and just the headlines in and of itself, but even just taking out just the fun that it would be for that to happen, I do think that Tennessee has the most ready team to be that next team in the SEC East. Do I think they're going to challenge Georgia? Absolutely not this year. But I think that they could fuck around and win more than 8 games.
My only problem is who they. When they get in a game with a good team, can they stop them? Because they couldn't last year.
But if you look at
you're right. They opened with Ball State at Pitt. You know, Pitt beat them last year in a very, very close game. I think they could return that favor. Then they got Akron. They got Florida at home. I think they win that. At LSU, we'll see.
There are 2 games on that schedule that
Phil assaulted Frank the Tank.
Who?
Meek Phil.
His name is Meek Phil.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
When I look at that schedule, I can guarantee 2 losses. And that's not, and I don't want to say guarantee with a big G. I just, if I'm looking at it, I think 10-2 is Tennessee.
Is it a real assault?
No.
Verbally.
I think he.
It's all over Viva.
Damn.
Let's see.
What's your over, Brandon?
Yeah, what's your over? Oh, I gotta go see this now. I mean,
he's having like a breakdown.
That also wasn't that kind of like a callback to Kevin? Didn't Kevin say that?
Probably.
My God. Which fucking place?
My over. We go to the ACC. The ACC is interesting because you've got a couple teams that are up, but you've got a couple teams that are up that do poorly with expectations.
I know exactly where you're going.
Wake Forest is going to be up. They're a good team. They bring everybody back. They won a lot of games last year. But how well do they do with expectations? How well does NC State do with expectations?
Every single prep book, I was like, they don't do well when people think they're going to do well.
I'm going behind the teams with expectations, and I'm plucking a team that looks like those teams looked last year, ready to pop, and that's Boston College. Boston College.
It's on my list. I crossed it out. I'm going to refute you when you're done. I strongly disagree.
Their schedule isn't great. I'll give you that.
That's
Pull it up.
But in their offensive line, I know they're having to replace a lot on the offensive line. Maybe the entire fucking thing.
I crossed it out earlier.
Well, you know what? This is my fucking over. This is my over.
You shot on my under. I'm going to shut you
but when I talked about her, you were like, this is hers.
Well, this is his.
This is
his
mine.
His body, his
this
choice.
Is mine.
You're done.
Let me have this one.
This is his.
Boston College over 6.5. It's a low total. They got a good quarterback, great receiver, good coach, solid defense. Conference is a little topsy-turvy. Give me over 6.5 for Boston College. What's wrong with that?
Katie,
open
the
with
floor
Rutgers.
is yours.
I'm winning. I'm beating Rutgers. I'm beating Maine. I'm beating Louisville at home. I could beat Clemson at home. Why couldn't I beat Clemson at home? Why couldn't I beat Clemson at home if I'm Boston College?
Okay, I do have a question for you, and this is why this is so much fun. But when I talked about Notre Dame, you talked about them losing to Clemson. So why can all of a sudden Boston College beat Clemson if Notre Dame's
I see 4 wins. 4. Yeah, they'll win that.
That's fine. That's fine. But I just. Rutgers, good. Maine, you see 4 wins?
4, yes, they're going to win. I see Maine, UConn,
Okay,
Duke,
well, stop. Rutgers, Maine, UConn, Duke, Syracuse. I'm winning those games.
Okay, you can count Rutgers. Rutgers, I'm not sure yet.
They're going to be double-digit favorites against Rutgers.
If you're not giving me Rutgers, then what are we talking about? And then a Virginia Tech team with no quarterback and a bad roster and a new coach. I got Louisville with a bad coach. I got
Notre Dame with a new coach.
I got Wake Forest there. That kind of sucks. I got NC State there. That kind of sucks. I got Notre Dame there. That kind of sucks. But there's enough there where I'm getting 6.5. I got Florida State with a bad coach.
I think NC State and Notre. Wait.
What? Florida State with a bad coach? We giving Florida State a good coach now?
I thought you said that the pieces were in place.
No, I think the time is now for him.
Okay.
If he has to do it now.
Okay, I thought you said that you were like turning around on Mike Norvell. The reason I took Boston College, maybe this is like PTSD as a UNC fan, but the offensive line, they're entirely turning it over. Their best guy, like number 2 in the nation, all the X whatever award nominee, out with ACL. So he's an entirely new offensive line, which I get isn't everything, but like same thing's happening to UVA, same thing happened to UNC last year. Obviously, it's not like a blank slate, but Phil Jerkovic is great. Before that happened, I would have picked him as like to go to New York for a Heisman because I think he's that talented or has the potential to be as a dark horse, like when he did that episode.
The thing about that is, I know the offensive line, it's a big deal, and I don't love that aspect of it, but Sam Howell was replacing everything. All his receivers, all his running backs. He was replacing everything. This guy's bringing back Zay Flowers. He's bringing back his running. Like he's got guys around him skill wise. He just has to build up front. Now up front's a big concern. I'll give you that. Yeah. But Jeff Hafley's a good ass coach.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Both you guys are right. Boston College is only returning 4 starts on their offensive line, which is a lot, but they
0.
No, 4.
4 starts.
Yeah.
And then Pat Garwo is a good running back. Zay Flowers is great. But Phil Jerkovic is great.
The fall off. So Pat Garwo had over 1,000 yards. The next guy up had 350. So it's a huge.
But Garwo's coming back.
Well, and now that you say it, it's going to be hard to beat Clemson with no offensive line, and they got the best defensive line in the country. But I'm talking about beating Duke. I'm talking about beating UConn. I'm talking about beating Rutgers. I'm talking about beating Maine. I'm talking about beating Syracuse. That gives me the 5. Mm-hmm. I can get there with this.
No, I look at Boston College as like 6 or 7. Like it was close enough. Like I think it could totally happen. I just don't have the confidence.
All right, give me an over, Jack.
Arizona.
Oh, spicy.
It's 2.5.
Pull up their schedule, Katie, please.
I think they find a way. I think
Arizona's turning around. Here's the problem with this, and he's right, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now.
Oh, no.
I think Mississippi State is good enough to beat Georgia this year. They're good enough to give Alabama a scare. They're good enough to beat LSU. We're losing to Arizona in week 2. I can go ahead and tell you
that.
No
we play them in the desert. We play them in the desert. I've been a fan. Let me tell you something. A month ago, I told you Ole Miss was winning the national championship in baseball. I've been a Mississippi State fan a long time, buddy.
Brandon, you said that to get ahead of the narrative in case it happens.
And I'm getting ahead of the narrative now.
I'm telling you that's not going to happen. There's no chance. You have Will Rogers going to fucking New York. Arizona they looked like they were.
That.
Yes, you did.
When have I said that?
He's definitely said Will Rogers is a Heisman Trophy.
You're thinking back to KJ Costello when he beat LSU.
No, you said he was going to be the Super Bowl MVP.
No. You have 100%.
He was that one day.
Yeah, he was the best quarterback in the history of the SEC for a day.
You absolutely have said Will Rogers is a Heisman Trophy candidate.
You've 100% guessed up Will Rogers.
No, that's a different ball of wax right there.
I said go to New York. That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
What?
You can be a Heisman candidate and not go to New York.
Oh, so you're saying he's going to be like 5 or 6? That doesn't count.
No, that's facts. You could be top 10 Heisman.
Oh, get the fuck. Who cares about that?
I'm with Brandon.
No, that doesn't matter. Who is
Will Anderson was a Heisman. I know the running back for Michigan State. He was a Heisman contender last year. He didn't go to New York.
How about, okay, fine. Let's say contender. When's the date? When's the ceremony of voting? December?
Like December 5th or something.
Okay, how about this? If Will Rogers is still seriously in the conversation November 1st, you can say that take was right. That's a month out.
What if he has a great November?
I'm saying they're gonna beat Arizona. By the way, why are you arguing with me?
I don't
saying
know.
that Mississippi State's gonna beat Arizona. Arizona's fucking terrible.
Arizona, I think,
this is his over.
is on the upswing. The only thing is, I can look at their schedule and see 0-12.
They would Jaden DeLora.
That's troubling.
Yeah,
that is troubling.
But I think Jaden DeLora is coming over. It looks good.
Well, their non-conference opening at San Diego State is not good.
And then you have North Dakota State.
That's not good.
And then you have Mississippi State.
And you have an SEC team in the. I can't decide if I think Arizona is going to win 3 games or not. Looking at the schedule, I see absolutely an 0-12. I just cannot believe that you legitimately believe. I think you're trolling.
Do you know what fear is?
Fear of Arizona?
Yeah, fear
no
of
offense,
anybody
Blattman.
who's different.
No offense. Arizona football is a joke.
Just watch. I'm just
it's a joke.
Just saying.
I understand. That's what, the fear in you instills. I cannot understand how Arizona instills that fear.
Do we have any other overs? Katie, you got an over?
I don't. I like my unders a lot more, but I picked LSU over 6.5. I don't.
Brian Kelly killed a kid.
I don't see it.
That's again, like, I only gone through the ACC, but I can't even stick my. I had to pick LSU right now, but I like my under much better.
At least you're standing behind your choice.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll come
she's
back
the most,
with a better
she's
one.
the most learned of us when it comes to the stats this year. It's true. I mean,
give me after July 4th break.
I'm not talking about straight
By the way,
up knowledge. I'm talking about.
I thought about bringing in my 2021 Athlon
to see how wrong it was.
Just going through it, but
did you? What was it that
Phil Steele?
Did you know we didn't make it, but Mintz did?
And Megan making money. Sorry, no, and Kelly in Vegas.
He has the list of all the people that follow him on Twitter. And I are not on that.
I do not think Phil Steele is a good prep book. Straight up, I think it is a waste of time.
I think it's fine. He talks to I think he gets the best info from coaches, but
it's illegible.
It's illegible.
It's very hard to read.
It's hard to read.
Like,
but
I use it for like a fifth opinion if I need to see, like, maybe for 1 every 10 pages.
I think it's great. I think that book is the best once the season starts. You can go back and it has all the information. And once the season starts, I feel like that book continues to be a good.
But I think once the season starts, all prep books go out the window.
I don't think that prep book does, because that has not only the first team, it has second all the way through like third or fourth or fifth. It has a lot.
It's just hard to read.
It's hard to read, but there's a lot of fucking information.
I just have questions of why we didn't make that list.
I
would understand if no Barstool person made the list. Now Dan's different. Big Cat made it. Yeah, that's different.
But
Dan's different.
Ross Dellinger didn't make it.
I don't understand. Like, how did we get it on the chopping block?
I might not follow him, to be honest.
I follow. I think you do.
I might not follow
I feel like I've DM'd with him before.
Oh, I've never DM'd with him, but I might not follow him.
I'll tell you, if I never have to open a Phil Steele book again in my life, I'll be okay. I think
I love Katie's beef with Phil Steele. I do follow him, and he follows me.
Pick 6 page previews, whatever it is, by Brett Setting. I'll put all of my socials
back
when
in
it comes
2019.
out. I'll take Lindy's over Phil Steele.
I love Katie's beef. It's great.
I just think it's so overhyped. Also, my computer calculated this. No one cares about your computer.
I fucking hurt my leg moving.
I got a needle in my arm today, but it didn't hurt.
You back on heroin?
Yeah. You know what? I have the best veins for heroin.
Do you?
I've been told.
I got good heroin veins.
I have great heroin veins.
It's a
That's
bruise.
a bruise.
I'm just beat the fuck up, y'all.
Yeah, moving. Why don't you pay somebody to move you?
I'm doing it because this is not a full move. It's a half move, and then I'm doing the other half in a month. So it stinks. But I am going to pay somebody then.
Short moves are.
I don't want to have to pay for 2 moves.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you guys see how the ACC took away their conference?
Took what?
Or their divisions, I should say?
Yeah, and then they're going to go with the primary opponents thing. It seems like we're going to do this in every conference. We're getting rid of divisions, and we're going to take the top 2 every year, and that's fine. I like the idea behind it. I don't know why divisions got to be old hat all of a sudden. Like I thought for 10, 15 years divisions worked fine.
I think people got mad
when you have a bad division winner.
Yeah,
and then you have a good team that's like like a 9-3 Wisconsin wins the Big Ten West, and 11-1 Penn State is sitting there. I understand that.
But the only thing is, the 11-1 Penn State, the one loss they had, was against the team that won the division. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then they would have won their division
if they hadn't lost.
You had the chance to, but you had the chance to play them, and that's the benefit of college football.
Who made that graphic? That's a very pleasing graphic.
The ACC, I like their.
The ACC has very good graphic design.
The visuals.
Yeah, they do. I've noticed that. When I really started noticing it more so than the other conferences is in the COVID year when they added Notre Dame to it, and we were able to go through those schedules.
In this conference, man.
First answer you come up with. All right, I want you to look at the logo board. All right.
Okay.
Best logo on the board.
Clemson.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's Pitt.
I don't like Pitt. I think Pitt looks like a high school.
Okay, I see.
You know, it looks like something I'd see on Friday Night Lights.
That's fair. Well, they are the same colors of what's it called?
Dylan. That's why. That's probably.
It's the exact same colors.
It's Miami, guys.
Miami's.
Yes,
Miami.
You're right. But see, the thing is I'm a real sucker for a good paw print.
You like a good paw print?
I like a good paw print.
That's good. That's good insight. What do you like in your college football?
The Florida State logo is good.
The Florida State. And listen,
Boston College logo is not.
It's not it.
Duke is not it.
Wake Forest is disgusting.
North Carolina's prettiest colors.
Yeah, I think UNC has a good one.
We have the best colors, but it's very.
Duke is terrible. Duke looks like clip art D.
Yeah.
Virginia's is just.
I think so. Miami is by far the most iconic, and obviously, when I talk about my favorite uniforms of all time, we talk about the early 2000s Miami teams with the colored visors. But when I look up there, just visually pleasing to my eyeballs,
the paw print
it's the paw print and the purple and the orange. I think because it's so different.
I like a good paw print.
I love a good paw print, and there's something about purple, and I really do think it's when LSU in 2019 jumped up into the playoffs, and it's like. The purple is so different than what we normally see up there that it's like you can't ignore it. So it's like all of those logos look pretty okay, whatever. The purple stands out.
Purple is a good uniform.
Except for when it's on the.
You don't talk about it enough. And if you really think about it, there's more purple in college football than you think there's purple in college football. When Clemson, LSU, Northwestern, TCU, Washington, there's a lot
Kansas
of fucking
State.
purple. In
Kansas State.
A lot of and there's one obvious one we haven't mentioned, and I can't put my finger on it, but purple's a good color.
Yeah, that's so. What you think? Miami's yours that jumps out?
Boise State's purple.
Miami,
not really.
No, they're blue, and they literally have a blue field.
Imagine a purple.
I was
field.
wrong. I don't know why I
Kill
thought
myself.
blue's close to purple.
Can I
Blue's
say
close
that
to
on
purple.
YouTube?
You're right.
No, I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
He's colorblind.
No, I'm not. My dad is.
No, you are colorblind. You don't see race.
That's true. No, I do. And I perfectly.
You're fine with it.
Yeah.
Braden's really
Except
trying
others.
to goat you in his.
We got to talk about something. Miami just got a commitment from Jaden Rashada. And if we're only going by names, it's a shame that Arch Manning exists because Jaden Rashada, incredible quarterback name.
Incredible.
And in fact, Dante Moore, another one. Good quarterback names this year.
I love the name Jaden.
There's too many of them.
Okay.
And there's too many Colts, Coltons, Colbys. There's too many of them. Cadens and Jadens and Aidens. I'm done with Cadens and Jadens and Aidens.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you have against the Colts? I mean,
it's too many Coltons. That's not an actual name. Some 19-year-old floozy that got drunk and got pregnant in 1995 came up with Colton. Now everybody uses it.
Can I on the record that I had nothing to do with this?
What, Colton's?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Putting it out there.
Sometimes you just gotta let me go.
I know.
Oh.
Do we have a Colton that we don't?
Wait, there's a Colton that responds to unnecessary roughness sometimes. Colton Kirby.
Yeah, we've had some things to say.
Oh, big Colton. Yeah.
I haven't said anything about it, but he did have like
I
a
did.
run-in with
Colton's
the
a bad
vice
name.
Bad takes too.
I think it's
Bad Bachelor.
And you just
Bachelorette.
don't like Colt McCoy?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Colt is better than Colton.
Yeah, Colt sounds awesome.
Colt is awesome.
One of my best friends in college is named Colt Smith.
Yep, Colt
That's a
McCoy.
bad name.
Your best friend, yeah.
No.
Classic Texas.
You've always said that.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy?
Yeah.
No.
You and Colt McCoy like this.
Yeah. It's kind of like how you're one of many in the office that their true favorite team is your rival. Mincy's favorite team's LSU.
Yep.
Travis' favorite team's Auburn. Your favorite team's Texas.
Can we talk? This just brought this up about when Travi. I watched that clip that we put up with.
Yeah.
Dawson. He didn't dunk on me at all. You acted as if he had said something like.
That was pretty good.
He kind of dunked on you.
But he thought he did.
You.
No, he thought he did because he doesn't know how I feel about paying players. You do.
No, he dunked on you.
Well, he
It's
dunked
fine.
on the Texas A&M fan base.
Yeah, he dunked on the entire city of College Station, Texas.
Arguably the biggest Texas A&M fan that isn't an athlete.
Yeah, behind Billy
Take that, thank
Lucci.
you,
Yeah.
Like who else? Who else could it be?
Billy Lucci's bigger.
Billy Lucci's massive.
And then
But from a national standpoint,
there's another guy too.
The current Texas A&M viceroy.
No, there's another guy. It's I don't know who it is. Maybe I'm thinking Oklahoma.
You're
Who's Jay Arnold?
What?
Jay Arnold.
She's bigger than J.R.
He also played football.
She's not as big.
J. Arnold's
also played,
cool. He
so-
did play football. Yeah,
he played
he's
football,
cool,
so yeah, he's very cool.
He's a nice guy.
You surprised me more than Dawson. Now listen, congrats to Dawson. That was great. All those interns were good.
Fine. It's fine.
But you acted as if he had said something that I was going to fight with.
No, you handled it great.
No, I was encouraging the young guy.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
It was probably nerve-wracking.
And now that we brought up Ole Miss again, this whole like shenanigans that's going on with like Dave and Mintz and all that, is that going to carry over something I'm going to have to worry about in college football season?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
I really don't
Doubt
think so.
it.
I just remember something that was said last year. I think no.
Okay.
No.
I just don't feel like talking about college baseball.
By the
I mean,
way,
there's one weekend you might.
Oh yeah, no, we have to talk about that afterwards.
by the way,
Their schedule's out.
well, we haven't put it out yet.
I know,
Yeah,
but we
and
can talk about it. Just cool.
Well,
I
I also asked Blattman.
We have the most ambitious thing we've ever done this year.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm two of them. There's two things on that schedule.
What is it?
Yeah.
There's two things that are incredibly ambitious.
We're doing too much.
Doing too much. But I will say we did announce we have a new producer this year. You have to be nice to her.
It's a woman.
Her name's Lauren. You interviewed her too. We all interviewed her.
woman?
You saw when she first came in.
It's a woman.
Yes. Yeah.
Are we changing it to a recipe show?
Listeners will remember. There's one day we're talking, and both of you are like, wait, who's that meeting with 3 heads of department? That must be someone who's a big deal. That was her.
Because I learned to sew.
But Dan, Brandon, and I all got a chance to be in the interview process.
That's not true.
What? You didn't? I mean, Dan and I did.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations to her. I'm very excited. I'm still going to yell at Blattman all the time, but it's fine. I don't know how.
This Jaden Rashada thing. So he signs with, no, doesn't sign. He commits to Miami, and that's great. And he commits for supposedly $9.5 million. And, anytime Miami throws out money like this, you got to wonder if anybody's lying, because it's all, some shady shit usually around Miami football. Let's just put it out there. It is. But my question is this: are the Florida Gators broken? Are they broken in an irreparable manner? Because they're broken in a way that the head coach, it doesn't seem like the head coach is the head coach anymore. I'm going to lay this out slowly so I make sure I hit all the points I want to hit. They fired Dan Mullen not because he had a bad year, but because he was not doing enough in the fans' eyes on the recruiting trail. Because he was getting his ass wore out on the recruiting trail because he wasn't putting enough effort out there. They then hired Billy Napier, and they are judging Billy Napier. This fan base is judging him before he's ever coached a game in the Swamp. before he takes the field against Utah, he goes out, Jaden Rashada goes somewhere else, and Florida fans think it's deja vu because they got another guy that might not be doing it on the recruiting trail, and that's all they care about. They're now more worried about June than they are October, and that's ass backwards. It feels like, and I'm saying this in a reasonable tone, it feels like these guys are giving up on Billy Napier a little bit. And I'm not talking about the smart ones. I'm talking about the fringe, the diehards, the ones that just take everything crazy. The super online Florida Gator fans are already kind of out on Billy Napier because he's not getting the Rashadas of the world. You can't coach like that. That coach is not in charge. Billy Napier, Dan Mullen wasn't in charge. Billy Napier is not in charge because you have a fan base calling the shots and a weak athletic director, giving into it. And you now you have a situation where if he doesn't recruit a top 10 class this year, he goes into next year and they're really doubting him. If he doesn't get a top 10 class next year, he's on the hot seat immediately before you even consider what the football team looks like.
It's fighting an uphill battle because, like you said, they care about June. He hasn't even had an opportunity to coach yet, and he's already at a disadvantage because people are mad about one recruit flip. Now, I understand it's kind of the bad taste in their mouth because of what happened with Dan Mullen. It's like, let the guy coach a game. Another thing with Dan Mullen, too, which we've said over and over, it wasn't just the recruiting. He also just wasn't saying the right things either. He wasn't pleasing the fan base.
He didn't do a good job last year, both on the field and off the field and in the recruiting trail. It was like he phoned everything in, and that's okay. That it is what it is.
It's almost like they have a little bit of PTSD with it.
But I feel like the frustrations they have with Mullen are carrying over to Napier now, and I'm just worried that Florida is about to fall into the Tennessee rut. For 20 years, Tennessee has been told they've had top 10 classes every year, and then you get on the field and nothing happens because they've been lied to. And Tennessee, they're in this mode where every 3 years it's a new coach, and this guy's going to be the guy. This guy's going to be the guy. Well, you look ever since Urban Meyer, Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, now Napier, every 3 years, Florida's going back to the coaching hire. Maybe it's not the coaches. Maybe there's something real fucked up behind the scenes. And apparently the lawyer from Miami, or the lawyer in Miami, said the reason he's coming here is because Florida's collective is the most fucked up collective in the country. I could see that because Florida's online fan base looks fractured and broken, and it feels like behind the scenes they're fractured and broken, and I don't know what coach can put together a fractured and broken program in one offseason. We
haven't done one of these analogies in a while.
Yes.
Here's my analogy.
Yes.
Bad relationship, right? No, it's true though. You go in, you have a bad relationship, you get into another relationship, and you immediately transfer all of those issues onto that new person. It's almost impossible for those to be fixed. Now, the difference is he can go win games and they'll be happy. They'll shut up. But they literally are taking the issues they had with Dan Mullen and saying Billy Napier is going to do the same thing, because there was a huge headline recruit flip for sure. But they're already putting him in a situation saying, like, fix all these problems you didn't create.
I think he wrote a letter to the fan base apologizing for it.
Do you think he did that on his own, or you think that somebody asked him to do that?
I would love to see, like, what percent of stuff that comes out from coaches is them versus staff. Like,
if I was the head coach and I was Billy Napier and that happened, I'd be like, I'm not fucking doing that.
The crazy thing is they could beat Utah to open the season, and Utah's a national title contender. They get them at home, a night game in the Swamp. Like, they could beat Utah, but if they don't beat Utah, they could also start 1-3. They could lose to Utah, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and then his bloom is off the rose immediately. They're a fascinating team to watch. I think most teams you can get within. You can put their winning window of like 6 to 8 games, 5 to 7, 9 to 11. Florida, I would go 4 to 10. I would really. 10 is a little much probably, but 4 to 9.
Well, like you said earlier, there's going to be somebody in the SEC East that dicks around and wins 9 or 10 games. Right. I think it's going to be Tennessee, but it would not be just alarming if it was Florida. I wouldn't be like, holy shit, how did that happen?
But you also, if I told you they won 5 games, you wouldn't be surprised either.
No.
All right. The time demon has got us. I gotta get out of here. But do we have anything that I haven't talked about yet?
I don't know if you care, but
I don't.
Okay.
If a guy is coaching Mississippi State and then leaves Mississippi State to go somewhere else, like Dave Emmerich, who went to USC, he's dead to me now.
So, what was it, Dan Mullen?
That's true. It's a good point.
He was dead to me for multiple years.
No, he wasn't. You talked about how much you loved him.
She is Johnny. You have Dan Mullen.
Mm-hmm.
He is UConn.
No.
I have the school I root for.
I've been multiple.
And I have my Heisman Trophy.
There was at least two years there where I was completely out on Dan
At least
Mullen.
right now.
I came back on Dan Mullen.
Watching, like, this thing is, like, take a shot every time blank says blank. Like, Casey's Manziel. Yours is Dan Mullen.
Oh, shit.
Take a shot every time I mention the school I root for?
That's his school.
Sorry, RG3 quote then.
I don't say
What
that
else you
much.
got?
No, you don't.
I think that's
It's
it.
more Brandon. Only for ACC fans. I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a show, to be honest. But
I honestly didn't know
never
people
mind.
still watch the ACC network.
If there weren't football helmets in the background, what do you think that show would be about?
that shows
That's
about how to
finance.
save the proper
Correct.
amount of money for a
Correct.
mortgage, and then like how mortgage rates are changing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the ACC,
I was going to say some sort of doctor show. The guy on the left is definitely like a medical consultant.
The guy on the right hasn't spent more than $20 out in public since 1975.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No offense to these guys.
He makes his own coffee every morning. You go to Starbucks, that's why you're poor.
Like he makes his own coffee, from the ground up.
Yeah.
he grows the.
Right, yeah,
And
everything.
he definitely grinds his own beans. I gotta just to end this. We haven't done like reading my DMs or anything. I got a very funny comment today that was supposed to be a dunk. Some guy, the whole you don't hold up a fish in your profile photo. He was trying to talk shit about the Pride March, whatever. And I was like, sir, you have a fish in your profile and you're using words like hip. Like maybe just sit this one out. And he said to me, sorry that I would be self-sustainable if something happened. If your local Starbucks closed, you'd be fucked.
Oh.
I was like,
He dunked. He wins.
That's a pretty good.
I was like, damn, but like
he fucking went in on you.
But I also was just like, why are you so mad? Like, yeah, like I feel as though
He is very angry for no reason, but he did win that round.
I have never heard. There's actually a funny rebuttal, like the whole fish in the profile picture thing. Like when you bring that up to a guy, they're usually pretty sensitive because everybody makes fun of it. Which, by the way, as a basic white bitch on Instagram, just lean into it, fellas. Like just whatever. But I've never heard somebody say they do that because they're self-sustainable on the land. Incredible
they're
comeback.
a country boy.
All right, we got to get out of here. No show next week. When we come back, you weren't here for the announcement.
What's the announcement?
No more off season. We come back from July 4th. We're going hard.
Yes.
We're going hard.
But I do feel like July
hard in the paint.
Yeah, just after July 4th, it's the football season.
Hard in the paint. That's Unnecessary Roughness.